Well, no, it actually made a couple kids probably should have been 18 this year, on the 18th.
Oh, because there were, okay.
Let's just say we had probably 3 kids that should have been 18 if it was solely based on skill.
It's live. It doesn't.
But
It's showing me that we're live.
But it's not showing you the video stream, is it?
It is showing me the video. Yeah.
Okay.
like the 18
Mine doesn't show it,
back
so.
bench.
As long as we're
Like they were-
live.
Okay.
So,
All right, we're gonna get the meeting started. It's 3:54. We are going to thank everyone again for coming tonight. We have one new person. I don't recall what your name was yesterday. Rebecca. Okay. And that's Heidi. Not Heidi. Oh my gosh. Jackie. And I know you've been here a few times, but I don't remember what your names are. Sean and Heather. We'll start with the minutes with Robin.
All right, do I do the treasury report? Yes, by Rebecca, balance, beginning balance last month was $38,498.46. Ending balance was $65,318.24. After expenses of $305 for student supplies and activities, and an income of fundraising of $26,819.78. Old business, we talked about Rita's Dine and Donate fundraiser. We talked about the ice cream social, which was a huge success, and we'll be doing that again next year. We made baskets for our custodians in both schools for customer appreciation. New business. Did I say it wrong? Custodian. I said it wrong the second time. Sorry, guys. Book bingo. That was our new business last month on Monday the 17th, Halloween week. The only one this year, looking for book donations and raffle baskets. 2 was Spirit Winter fundraiser, was pretty good. 100 families bought from it, and we had a profit of around $700. Fall Fest was October 21st. Katya is in charge, ordering supplies and pumpkins, and trying some new games this year. We talked about the sales in the cafeteria, selling stencils, stickers, bracelets, etc. We'll start this November 11th. I got pushed back a little bit.
Yeah.
that's okay. We'll go over that later.
All right, Alderman Robert. All right, I missed that. We started talking about our holiday gifts for the kids from Santa. Ideas were beanie hats, scarves, watermelons, and tie-dye socks. We discussed holiday shops, Friday night vendor shop, December 9th from 6 to 8 in the Slington Gym. We are going to sell our school items plus outside vendor tables. Vendor tables were $10. We need at least 20 vendors, first come, first served. Our May festival, we discussed, we want this to be free to our families in addition. Parents must bring their kids, no dropping kids off and leaving. Thinking about some sort of wristbands for the kids, so we know who's in and who's not. We will need a committee for this event to help plan it. Committee chair will be Amber. Please think about volunteering for this. It will be a lot of fun to plan. Bounce houses, face painting, and games. Last month we gave our principal appreciation gifts. We're giving to Mr. Steinreich and Mr. Brian here at our meeting. We pulled our winners for the Chevy Teacher Give Back. We were awarded the $1,000 to share with our teachers. We put all the names on a wheel and we spun to see who wins each month. The last month was Miss Ballette, Miss Bayshore from 2nd grade, Miss Burkowski, and Miss Harrison. We talked about recess supplies and PTO donating balls, such as kickball, soccer balls, football, and sidewalk chalk, and paper for indoor recess, and a cart to put all of the items on. Then we went into open discussion last month, and we talked about the street fundraiser. Looking for 4 to 6 more volunteers to help sort out all the orders. The taxes were dropped off. They have to be done by November 11th. Working on filling out the paperwork for the Amazon Smile, which is Rebecca taking care of that. We also talked about doing something like a sunshine cart or a teacher. For a teacher thinking of asking for donations and also birthday cards with candy and a drink for their birthdays. We discussed booth-a-thon principal challenges like ice cream Sunday camp out in school and thinking of refining. Meeting was adjourned by Amber. Our next meeting was scheduled for November 9th at 3:45 at Peters Elementary with Bill November.
Is she done? I'm sorry.
I'm done.
I got distracted. I'm sorry. I was trying to get my numbers together. Okay, thank you. Next up is the treasury report by Rebecca.
All right, so last month, sorry, we had a couple fundraisers that we did get the final income from. We're still working on Booster. As of today, we had earned $20,000, a little over that. We're still open for another week. Hopefully we can get to $25,000 so that we can have the principals sing karaoke. Sweet fundraising, we did end up raising $9,320. We've already had 9 spaces reserved for our vendor holiday shop. Some vendors reserved more than 1 space. And we had our $700 fundraiser profit from Spiritware. Let's see, what else do we have? Halloween book bingo. We made a cash deposit of $1,987. We spent $522.55, and that gave us a profit of $1,376. Fall Fest. We did decide to go over the budget a little bit to pay for all of the pumpkins and gourds and hay bales. Usually Peters would put part of their budget towards that. We just decided to pay everything. So we ended up paying $926.97 for Fall Fest, which came out to $2 a student, something like that. And we're gonna hopefully continue to just pay for everything up front every year. We did have, what was that? $3.42. Oh, Amber cashed her check that I wrote her. All right. We did have a few November birthdays. I did not do any birthdays for October immediately following our meeting. I decided we're just going to start on November 1st. We've had a few teachers who've had birthdays already. I think we're at 5 or 6 for November. So to date, we've spent $23.97. Everybody is getting like their favorite candy, and if I can easily get them their favorite drink, I'm also attaching that to the birthday card. Some teachers' favorite drink is an iced coffee, so it's kind of hard since some people are really particular about that. So that was that. We spent $111 on principal appreciation. That was 2 $50 gift cards plus all the fees that are associated with getting a Visa gift card. Let's see. We had our Google domain fee of $6.36. We did have to buy color ink for the printer for $80.44. So our starting balance was $66,525.24. We had $8,605.70 in income. Our expenses were $19,878.11. So our ending balance is $55,252.83. That's it.
Do you have this breakdown for me?
Yep.
That other page that you I had by accident first. Can I see that again?
Yeah, sure. There it is.
Can you just tell me what I mean, we could talk later, but I just want to know like what some of this stuff was. Like, what's late orders mean?
From Sweet Fundraising.
Okay. Okay. And that's also sweet fundraising?
Yep.
Okay. Maybe just,
Yeah, this
Mark-
report is stupid.
yeah, maybe somehow better work. I'm just saying, if someone
No.
would look at this and you're not here or whatever, late orders, I would be like, what is this?
Yeah.
Just because, like, obviously this stuff,
Yeah, these
I know
are,
what it is because it's very clear, but this
Yeah.
is all vague.
Yeah.
If somehow,
Yeah, it has, for some reason it pulls from a different part of the program that I don't want it pulling, I don't know. But yeah, that's a constant issue, is figuring out where I'm actually supposed to show the
and
information.
that's the money minder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just have to figure out what field it's pulling it from. So.
Okay. I have more old business than new business really to talk about tonight. Our book bingo was October 17th. It was amazing. We had standing room. I had people sitting at the doors. We had no tables free. I had to get some out of the, were you here? Okay. I had to get tables from the storage closet from the janitor to set up tables. We had people lined up on the counters over there. It was just, it was phenomenal. With that being said, for next year, we need to think of other options for bingo. We cannot have it in this cafeteria anymore. We've outgrown it by the amount of people. Because even last year, we had two last year. The fall one last year also was a sellout. Not as bad as this time, but someone, I forgot who it was, not one of us, someone within the district suggested maybe using the gym downstairs. It's a little bit bigger. The only thing with
That many tables.
Is it actually bigger?
I personally don't think it's bigger, but
Because you would need that to fill that with tables and chairs.
yeah, they would do that for us.
The high school cafeteria.
And that was like another option, doing it at a completely different location. The only fear that with the gym, it's the echoing and how loud it is. I mean, it's loud in here and we could barely hear the number caller. So it's just something, for all of us to consider for next year. I know it's a long time out.
Asking maybe how many people you can fit in the gym.
Right.
In comparison to here to see whether that.
Right.
Yeah. Or even maybe Peter's gym, because
Yeah,
it's
the only
not as
thing-
echoey there.
Yeah.
But it's bigger. Like if you open the wall, it's like three
Oh,
times.
their gym is bigger
Yeah, it's
than
huge.
the gym.
And because they also use it, like they have that wall, dividing wall that absorbs.
The only
stuff,
thing
it's
like with
not closed.
Peters that worries me is it's getting that facility. It's so hard to get Peters because there's
Parking over there would be a nightmare if you have that many people.
Yeah.
Because there's really nowhere to go once you fill that
Yeah.
lot.
I feel
Well,
like this one here though,
Yeah, we filled this one last.
and something actually got blocked in. Like if you're supposed to be coming around, somebody parked too close to the people who were parked like
So
on
they
the
couldn't
curb.
get-
You couldn't get around. Because I came back late, and I had to back out like around the basketball hoops.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, that parking lot is way bigger than this parking lot.
Kristen Garrison said if we explain our 501c, we might be able to get space donated to us by like a fire company or somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just we definitely it wouldn't pay for us to pay somebody. So
Right.
I mean, ideally we like to keep it in the district. But that's just something like I said that we have to think about for next year.
I mean, I will say, I don't know if the space at Vigilant is really that much bigger than here. However, because they're not an active firefighting company,
Right.
they have been more able to donate their space to some of our nonprofits around here. Whereas, like some of the other fire companies, they rely on that money to be able to send their trucks out. So it's harder for them. But so Vigilant would be our best bet for getting the space donated.
Right.
That's where we
But I'm not sure. Yeah, but
houses, right?
yes, but it's really not that big. in
What
there.
about
Parking there would be.
a nightmare too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that will be in, like I know sometimes when the fire companies, my dad used to be a member, he's not anymore, they have like member prices and like, so if you know somebody that will be a member,
Yeah, I saw that.
if they would rent
Right. Nikki said she can help. Like, I think as far as space is concerned, we'd probably have to look at like Emerald or Slatedale. It's not that big. It's bigger than.
Is it bigger than
I don't know.
Actually, no, it's
I don't
really
know
not
if
that.
it is.
Because we used to do the we did sportsman bingo there for Freedom's Athletic Association pre-COVID, and we had a capacity, like we couldn't sell more than I think like 150 tickets. Because with like the prize area, the basket raffle area, and the amount of people, it like Slatedale and Emerald are significantly bigger than.
I'm just thinking about how they used to, when Freedom's had bingo, like how they used to run it, but they didn't have like the baskets, like it was all tables.
Right.
And like the other.
Well, that's definitely something to talk about.
Yeah, it's definitely something, you know, just to think about. And anyways, but yeah, I do appreciate everyone who came out that night. It was, like I said, our best one yet.
Well, and it was bigger than last year, but it was much less chaotic. Like everyone was quiet enough that we could really hear the callers. Like I think it worked well, even though it was a ton of people.
On October 21st, we had our Fall Fest at Peters. I was not present for that, but I heard good reviews. The pumpkins this year were purchased from Heidel Hollow. He brought them the night before, and we all set them out. The custodian over there did a big pumpkin on the field. The kids always like that. If you guys want to chime in on that at all, is there anything that you would do differently?
So it was a huge success. I think the teachers also really liked that we switched up a few of the activities. Our plan with it was kind of to continue adding a few different activities and sort of put them on more of a rotation so that the kids who are doing this kindergarten through second grade aren't doing the exact same 8 things. But upon kind of polling the audience, I spoke to several teachers from each grade throughout the day, and the general consensus from the ones I spoke to was, would this not be a full day activity? Apparently, years ago, it used to be an entire day where they would do all sorts of fall-related things throughout the whole day. Apples, hibernation, life cycles of trees, all sorts of things throughout the whole day. And so it wasn't just like a specific time slot of the day. There were indoor and outdoor things. Everybody would walk around. And they also felt that even though we had extended their amount of time from last year, I think it was 45 minutes, and I said it felt like not enough, and I asked for an hour for every grade, they felt like that still wasn't enough. They still felt very rushed.
Our son didn't get through all of it.
Yeah. So,
A handful of classes that skipped because
right.
they just didn't have
I
the
would
time. I think she had
absolutely
issues.
love to talk about, and in the relatively near future, so that we can kind of put this together, discuss it with the school and the teachers, talk about ways to potentially expand this, make it more of an all-day thing, but less, you have 1 hour to do this and 1 hour to do that. More of a, these are the stations throughout the school. Please take your kids throughout the school all day.
So, like, less structured?
Not necessarily less structured, but less a forced schedule.
Like,
Yeah.
okay.
You know, like having things like these are the things in the gym. Maybe even incorporating kind of the specials teachers. So whatever special you have that day is also a fall themed something.
Because when we're talking about doing it the same day as their holiday party.
Right, and then that the teachers would then have their holiday party, their
So
fall
maybe
party.
there's a rotation by grade level, like this grade goes outside at this time,
Right.
their party at this
Right,
time.
like,
they do.
yeah.
So the grades are kind of not
Right.
intermixing,
But
there's
so,
still
yes.
a little bit of leeway that teachers can kind of plan things.
Yes, and so it's not so rushed and it's more relaxed. So this is something that I would absolutely like to, earnestly discuss, think about, what would a budget look like if we were to bring in, a whole bunch of apples and have somebody in the gym, doing different apple tasting or telling kids about apples. Is there somebody local that is even able to do this for it? I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about apples except they come in a couple colors, and if you cut them the wrong way, it makes a star. Like,
If you taste test them next to a potato, you can't tell the difference if you're blindfolded.
oh.
I did that one in elementary school.
Well, look at that. But so I would definitely like to kind of maybe create some sort of committee for this, discuss this further, and
And
see if we
they're
can.
trying to make the applesauce and stuff like
Well,
that.
that's the thing. A lot of teachers were saying they spend a ton of their own money to do these apple or pumpkin themed activities, and if this was just part of that day,
Right, it could all be.
it could all be one day.
Mrs. Hedges that mentioned that?
Mrs. Richardson, I think.
Mrs. Richardson and Mrs. Hedges both talked about
And
doing
Mrs.
apple
Sayer
things.
wanted it
I know
that
Mrs. Coaches does a whole pumpkin thing in the fall where they dissect a pumpkin and like learn about pumpkins.
But if you had it a little bit less structured, then each teacher could kind of pick what they did at certain times. Like you
Right.
have your class indoor at this time, you decide what you're going to
Right.
do with them. We'll be outside at this time for your grade, and then maybe the special subject teachers do certain things.
Right, exactly. So that like the teachers can just kind of take their classes around through the entire thing for the whole day. But it's not so rushed. Like I wouldn't.
The biggest thing was being rushed.
Yes.
And not getting to all their stations.
I wouldn't expand what we have outdoors. I would just add
Add
some
time to
things
that.
to the indoors as well, and then allow it to be a little bit more flexible, and make it the entire day.
Yeah.
A lot of classes also don't have time to sit on the stage and decorate their pumpkins, which is something that like they used to take more time for.
Yeah.
So it should have been two people, two
Yeah.
classes coming. I like the class that whole day.
A couple of
But
them
that
still
was
brought
probably
in
something
there.
that they were like, we can skip that.
And do that.
Right, like they
that
because
in
we
the
had the
classroom.
stickers like in individual bags, so they would just get their classroom's worth of stickers and just do it at a different time. So that, and maybe we don't do pumpkin decorating on the stage. Maybe when you pick your pumpkin, your teacher just gets a box of stickers for your
And
whole
maybe at
class.
the end of the
and
day,
makes
the
it
last
fun.
like
Right.
part of the day, they can all decorate in the classroom before
Exactly.
they go home or something like that.
Exactly. So this, yeah, I would like to build on this. Everybody's really like the teachers really love it. They want it to be more. So, yeah.
And maybe even like putting something out there to the Peters staff to see if they have any activities that have been done in the past that maybe they'd like to bring back.
Yeah.
Is there a way that we can put together like a survey that maybe the teachers fill out and give?
Yes, we
and
very
give
much
feedback?
can.
That's what we talked about, like a Google
Yes.
Doc where they
Yeah, like
could.
a Google survey that
Yeah.
they fill out, because then at least some of them have been there way before us, that they know, oh,
Exactly.
we used to do this that we'd like to bring back, or if they have a new idea or something.
And that was like Mrs. Sayer. She was like telling us all
Yes.
these different things. To be fair, like a Google Doc where they could tell us how they felt after this
Yeah,
class.
just to
was this
provide
way.
feedback and then give ideas that they
Yeah.
have. Maybe if we could do that between now and like the next meeting, we could take those ideas that, like if you collect them and then we can kind of read through and see what maybe we want to try to add in.
Yes.
Because I feel like you probably don't want to wait until next fall
No.
to figure this
Yeah,
out.
no, this is something that I would kind of like to have already planned and pretty much ready to go before the end of
Kind
the
like
school
work through
year.
it in stages between
Right.
now and the end of the year.
So that like by next fall, all we have to do is like call and order things.
Right.
All right. Moving on. Booster. Today and yesterday we had our both events. Yesterday it was at Slatington. Today was at Peters. Slatington finally got to go outside for their event. We tried last year and the weather just not held up. Me working in the building, I had a lot of teachers say it was great being outside. It was so much better. Our gym is very small and it's not really fun for the older kids. So they were really glad it was finally outside. Today was Peters, that was inside, and they did a glow run. And I just want to say to everybody, this was initially my baby booster. And now that I have a daytime job, I had to pass the torch on to Rebecca. And I just want to thank her publicly for everything she did this year with Booster. As Robin said, we're roughly about 21,000 profited from them. So we will discuss at a later date on more on that once it's completely over. For the next one, I just have one sales Slatington. I gotta think of a proper word for these sales, but they will be happening soon. We did already purchase some items to start selling at Slatington. We were just kind of waiting for Booster to be over, and you know the holidays are coming up with early dismissals, so we will start soon selling stuff to Slatington during lunch. Flyers will go home with like a price point of what we're selling and how much it'll be costing, so parents know to send extra money in with their students. Holiday gifts. I did reach out to Tri-County about doing beanies. I did tell them our budget, and it's a little tight on their end, that number. So she is working on something. She did email me last week saying she didn't forget about me. She's still trying to figure out what she can do at that price point for beanies. Because I even told her, I know I wanted like the elaborate, like blue, gray, and white, like beanies. I said if you have to do just the basic blue with like a white logo, I was fine with that. So she, like I said, I mean, she always comes through for me. They sometimes take a cut because a loss just to be able to provide for our students, because you know they just always like to work with us.
If they can't make beanies happen, do we have a plan B?
No.
So I really liked the idea of the tie-dye socks.
I do like that.
I
Especially
think
because they
it's,
always do a tie-dye.
there's tie-dye
here
day,
and
the different like sports things used, like, so I feel like this
yeah.
would be a reasonable plan B.
Okay.
Because usually
I mean, I
those are,
did.
like one size
I
fits
originally
all.
did go to her about socks,
Yeah.
and then when we talked, we all switched to beanies.
Right.
So I can go back to her, because she even, like, this was during, you know, late summer, early spring.
Right.
She has said to me at one of the sporting events, hey, do you know what you're doing yet? She's like, I've been looking at the discounted racks just so she can start buying stuff that was cheaper for us, you know,
Right.
at cost. So I could email her tonight or, you know, tomorrow and let her know if beanies aren't, can you look at socks?
Because I feel like that would be a reasonable
What,
plan
I
B.
mean, do we want our logo on the socks or just tie-dyed socks?
I mean, if we're doing socks, I would just do like blue and white tie-dye. Like how, because
Unless you
ma-
couldn't really do a logo. I mean, you could if it was knit, but you could do the face of the bulldog, or you could do like you could spell out bulldogs.
but if it's like printed on, a sock is stretchy, so it's gonna crack that logo.
Yeah, I know, like, I mean, not a logo,
Yeah.
but like,
Artwork.
yes.
Yes.
Do we want the bulldog on it?
I mean, if it's affordable for a stitched
Because
bulldog, then yes.
I mean,
think
you
that
guys
would
are
be
gonna
cute.
kill me when I say this, but if they would just do the sock and then we spend a night tie dyeing
Nope.
to save on money.
Okay, so here's the thing with tie dyeing socks. It's actually really hard to tie dye socks because of the elastic that's
I
inside.
don't want. I don't want. I mean, but
I've
just
done
to
this,
save.
yeah, but I did this many bazillion times
Right.
in my life, and because of the like socks typically aren't 100% cotton. Like cotton t-shirts tie dye great,
Yeah.
even like the blended t-shirts tie dye great, but socks are typically
Like a
that
spandex or something.
they have that elastin spandex component, and it does not take home dyes well.
Okay.
So
All right.
that
I'll
is-
email her as soon as possible and see what she's been working on.
I mean, and if not tie dye, maybe like crazy stripes or something, like crazy socks. You know,
Right.
tie dye is cool, but crazy
And I
would be
think
okay
you could
too.
get away with not doing a bulldog
Right.
on it if it's
Yeah.
too expensive.
Autumn,
to
do you
it.
remember how much that guy was? Other person that we looked at.
The online place?
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't. I can look tonight.
I can. I just didn't know if you knew off the top of your
No,
head.
I don't remember because I think it varied on the style we were doing. too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If we were just gonna do like solid blue with like the face on it, or if we were gonna do like blue with a white stripe up the back, it would it was gonna vary. So I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't think the prices were horrible. I just don't remember
Okay.
off the top of my head.
All right. No problem. next up, we celebrated Principals Month last month. We gave them a card with a gift card inside. The vendor sale that will be taking place December 9th here at Slatington in the gym. We are going to have vendors come out and sell their merchandise while we also have the holiday shop that we are doing open. I am going to let Katya talk about this because she is in charge. So how many vendors as of right now do you have?
So vendors who have actually paid as of right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that whose money we have in hand. We have several that said it's already in the mail. We're just waiting for it to come here. And then we have a 5th grade girl who lives in Neffs. We have decided to waive the fee for her and allow her to set up a table because she's working on building a business, and we think that's great. Also, she makes slime, and nobody else has signed up to sell slime, so we're going to give her her slime girl spot. There will be one slime table. I'm just letting you guys know if you're thinking.
When was the deadline for them to have the money in?
So the deadline for them to have the money in is November 11th, which is this Friday.
Okay, because I would like the flyers to go home no later than November 18th because of Thanksgiving holiday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I also have, so all of the people that have reached out to us, that totals 18 spots. And then I have one more person that just reached out to me yesterday asking if we had Pampered Chef yet, and I said we did not. So that would be 19 spots in the event that we get all of their money by Friday. So honestly, this has been fantastic turnout.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Doing it?
Multiple tables.
Yeah. So, well, that's the thing. So we have a few people who have reserved 2 spots. So when I say like we have 10 people's money, like some of them,
Reserve 2 tables.
Exactly.
That have that much
Right.
stuff.
yes. So, so far that's looking great. One thing that somebody asked me is if we will be serving hot cocoa at the event.
I have another suggestion
Yes.
too. You have to mute it because I haven't said anything yet. But I was thinking about having Santa there for pictures. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh.
I saw at another school they're doing the same thing and they're having him there. I haven't asked him yet.
We haven't booked him for that event yet.
No, but I'm sure I can, and then maybe charge like $5 to take a picture with Santa Claus, or do it for. I don't know if we want to do it for free.
Well, since if we're printing out the photos, I would say we charge for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the photo printers, we already own them, but that photo paper is not cheap. And typically, even at the dances in the past, we used to give one for free.
And then I think it was like $1 or something.
I wouldn't have a problem, even just the way we did the Easter Bunny. Just like take your own picture with Santa.
Well,
Because
if you're
I
taking
feel like-
your own, I think it should be free.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit. It could be too hectic to also have somebody
Someone
manning
there
the
in charge
printers.
of doing the pictures.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
Probably.
maybe.
if she's listening, Kristen, do you
Kristen
want to
Garrison,
help
do you have
us?
time to do Santa pictures?
Really good at taking pictures at all the dances.
Well, Nikki said she has a costume and a photographer.
For free, photographer for free.
I don't know if she'll hear it and she'll reply.
So that was
We have a costume, right?
Correct.
basically the way it looks right now is between the executive board members who will be there, we would not need any volunteers from outside for this
She said
event,
yes.
which would make our life easy. However, if we are going to be selling hot chocolate, or if we're going to be doing a photos with Santa, that may change that. So that's a decision that needs to be made kind of soon.
Wait, I'm sorry. I was just. I missed, somehow I didn't see her comments. Kristen said yes. Kristen, are you saying yes that you would take pictures for us? I know there is a lag.
Yeah, here now it's starting. Now it's moving
Yes.
on here.
Yeah, she said yes.
I know, but she just said that.
Okay.
I'd love to help. I was typing that out. You all know a girl who takes photos for you all. All right, I'm assuming that means okay. So it's just something like we could decide on before
Well, I feel
Rebecca
like
makes
you would
the
wanna
flyers.
put that on the
Oh yeah,
flyer.
yeah. Before
Yeah,
Rebecca
to
makes the
attract
flyers.
people to come in.
But I don't know. If I'm kind of against the hot cocoa. I just see spilling. I mean, we would have to buy cups with lids. I mean,
That's why, like, it
We-
was just something somebody asked, and I was
I
like,
mean,
oh, I
it
don't know.
is
We
a
have
cool,
to
it is a cool idea.
Concept of how much you would even need because you don't know how many people
Right.
this is going to bring in.
Well, also, are they selling, is somebody selling any kind of baked goods?
No.
Right, so I mean, I'd say no to that, but now if we had baked goods, somebody's selling baked goods, there might be a.
It seems like something like, let's see how it goes this year, and then maybe that's how we
Yeah.
expand next year having a food or inviting
All right.
something like that.
So,
Yeah.
Stan said yes or no.
I'm fine with it.
I think
I'm
that's a
fine with
I like
Santa.
the Santa.
I think
I
Santa's
like
a yes.
Okay, Santa charge or no charge for pictures?
I think if you're
I
printing
say
them,
if
you
we
should
are
try.
printing them, we should charge.
And I feel like we have we're not going to be using this printer for anything else anymore because we've gone away from
The dances.
dances. So we have this printer that's going to be sitting. So
Right.
I feel we
would-
should get
I would
our
say
money.
but I don't know about $5 a picture.
I was just throwing a number
I
out.
would say
What
$2.
were you guys doing for the dance at one
So
time?
it was, your first picture was free, and any additional picture was $1. But that's
So then
because
maybe
they were
go
the.
$2.
It was just the sixth graders that were like, you know. My vote would be $2 a picture.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
what
So $2 a picture, and will we allow them if they don't want to pay the $2 to do it with their cell phone?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it's too confusing. I would
Yeah,
say
no.
it's $2, that's why you
$2
advertise
a
it,
photo.
Yes.
Okay.
and you don't allow the option of.
Okay.
Because people are gonna be back there behind taking them
Anyway.
Right.
I think you need to charge if you have someone
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
Okay.
It's $2 a picture.
Perfect.
And if your kid cries, it'll just be something to remember.
Yep.
Do we
I'll have those pictures.
do we want to buy a pretty back?
Will one of our winter wonderland backgrounds work?
Not Santa. No, because it's the
Um,
starry. I don't know.
Well, we've got one with snowflakes on
I
it.
was gonna say, I think there's one with snowflakes down there. That one would work.
We have one with
Find a
snowflakes.
a nice chair.
Okay, here's the deal. I probably have extra garland and old Christmas tree ornaments that I don't really use. We put up the snowflake one. We hang the garland from the top. We string the ornaments down,
Or
and
you
we call
do
it a
like
day.
get red wrapping paper and you hang that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put that on the wall or
Why can't we
something.
bring a tree and put a tree up?
Do you have a little?
I know. Do you have time to do that, Robin? You coming in at 3:00?
Are we working that day? No. We're not, right?
No.
No.
But we can't get in. I mean, we can get into the gym later. I mean, earlier in the day. All right.
Gym is happening in there. You can't.
I mean, here's the thing. If it's one of those pre-lit artificial trees, it'll take a hot minute to set up. You just gotta hang some crappy plastic ornaments on it and call it a day.
I mean, we could just do the front.
I also.
And this Dr. Butts might even have, because I know she just got rid of some trees. She might have still have a tree that she puts in the gym.
And with like a fake chimney background. With paper against the wall. Make it with red paper and you draw the lines to make a chimney out
You
of
have
it.
theater kids, right?
Yeah, I do. He's our crew.
I don't know who this person is, but Missy Walters said, "Look on Shein for holiday balloons, so much cheaper than Amazon. In front of winter background and wrap empty boxes."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
I mean, we have our art. I mean, I don't really want to blow up balloons, but
Oh God, no. Balloons aren't Christmassy anyway. No.
well, that's what she
yeah.
was saying, holiday
Yeah.
balloons.
I think that we should bring my tree in.
We're all right. We're
All right.
setting up.
So we'll
Wrap empty boxes.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got those. We do real
okay.
Well, I have lots of fake trees. Lots. Lots. I can lend them.
All right. So
We have the little ones.
moving on, the festival. Oh wait. I have some balloons. I definitely have red and white. I'd be happy to grab some green. I made a chimney for my home you can borrow for the night.
Well,
That was
look at
Kristen
that.
Garrison.
What is it?
Kristen Garrison has a chimney.
Oh, yeah. See,
Oh,
there
look
you
at
go.
that.
I took it to pick one real easy. All right.
Okay.
There you go.
Who let her leave this board?
I know. Come back, Kristen.
She should come back.
All right, festival.
All right. So I emailed Gomberts about 2 weeks ago, and he literally emailed me back this morning. I basically said to him that we decided to do a festival versus the carnival, just bounce houses, no rides. I also said about we would get vendors for activities and foods. I did say about, being on his insurance. I also said we are having our meeting tonight. You're more than welcome to come and, tell us what you have to offer. He emailed me back this morning and said that yes, he is still available to do it. He's just not available the weekend of the 25th and 29th. He would like to know, are we, paying all of it out front, or are we going to do wristbands? He did say he has games. He, in his email, did not say anything about insurance. He said that I can give him a call today after 1 o'clock and talk to him more about it.
We really need to get that squared away
Right.
before we can make any other decisions.
Yeah.
So once we are completely done here, I'll just quickly call him while the executive board is here and see what he says.
Okay.
So the festival is still pretty much on a standstill until I have 100%, he is going to give us his insurance. We picked our winners from Chevy last month. We'll do that again tonight towards the end of the meeting. Do you want to go over your chat now or later with?
We can do it now really quickly.
So my thought was, because I didn't understand what you were saying in it, because I thought they were just picking $25 worth of stuff. They picked more than $25?
Well, Mrs. Bayshore, for example, gave us a selection of things that they picked together as a class. And all of them, individual items, like one of them was like a science experiment kit. So it's $25, but the class picked it, and it's something that everybody in the class can participate in. She just gave us a choice of science experiment kits to choose from.
Okay.
And then she also she mentioned it to me, and then told me she was going to do it. She has a personal printer that she uses in her class because they're upstairs in a completely different part of the building than the copier. So she has a personal printer, and she was wondering if she could add ink to the list. I said, add the ink to the list. We have to make a decision as a board about what we're actually going to purchase for your $25. She goes, well, I'm going to add it just in case.
So are any of the experiments under $25?
Yeah, all of them are.
Okay.
So we just have to pick one. She said she doesn't
Okay,
care which one
so
we get.
I feel going forward in your email to them,
Yeah.
you need to say that you have $25, you pick what you want for $25, not giving us a list of items for us to pick.
Okay.
And then just put it in the cart and buy it.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting us to be like, okay, well because that's just,
Okay.
what they really want. I mean, if it's I keep buying my cheap. If it's $27, I mean, as long as it's not
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'll give them a grace way of costs, but
Yeah.
not
I mean, the tricky part is, this would be super easy if we could just cut them a $25 Amazon gift card. But because of the way that the donation works, we have to be able to show that it was used for the classroom.
For the classroom. Yeah.
So this is, by them telling us what to order, now we can show, we ordered this science kit. It's clearly for the classroom.
Yeah.
So this is why it's complicated. We can't just cut them a $25 gift card and go here.
Yeah, I would just say in the email,
Yeah.
please pick $25 worth of Amazon items.
right.
And we will purchase it for you.
Yeah, I don't want us to be sitting here for an extra half hour saying, okay, let's pick this, but you know what I mean? I want
Yeah.
them just to say, this is
I
what we
think-
want.
I think one of the teachers did put like 3 items on their list, and it added up to like $26.
Which is fine.
Right. So that I didn't have a question on. It was really the one teacher who had multiple things on there, individual items adding or being $25.
Okay.
So yeah, she doesn't. I asked her if she had a preference about which science kit. She said no, she doesn't have a preference.
Okay.
Just need to pick one.
Okay, recess supplies. I did nothing with that, I'll be honest.
I bought 2nd grade sidewalk chalk. I bought everybody their own box on clearance Target for $3. One of those great big. I don't know how many.
Did you already give it to
We're
them?
talking about getting these bids.
Yep, I already gave it
Yeah.
to
I
them.
know. I feel, I mean,
So,
Kristen said she's gonna be our favorite volunteer now.
so I guess my question is every grade just getting one thing? Or are we like spending a total amount of money for each school on this stuff? Because we didn't really decide that.
Well, I feel like if we say each grade gets $100, I'm just throwing out a number.
Right.
But first grade only needs $75 and fifth grade needs, you know what I mean, like $200 worth of stuff. I feel like it's a, I don't know.
Because you don't want them just spending $100 just because you said
Yeah,
giving it to you.
right.
Right.
You want it to be
Well, and
more
like-
of what the need
Right.
is.
So, and for example, like 2nd grade said that they would like sidewalk chalk, but is this going to like, are these sidewalk chalks like for, did every classroom get one box of sidewalk chalk?
One great.
And you already gave it to them.
Yep.
But so then they're not getting anything else? Or are
Yeah,
they?
because sidewalk chalk
Right,
was
but
like,
like,
It
right.
was $15.
But that's like, they gave us, they were like, oh, we would like sidewalk chalk. Okay, but what else? Like, so are we just, I would have almost said, let's purchase like basketballs, soccer balls, jump ropes, sidewalk chalk, like for the entire school.
Yeah.
And say, here it is at this exit for recess. Help yourself. Put it back when you're done. Like,
Which I think is how we got to that. We need like some kind of bid
Storage,
or
right.
something.
Yeah.
So that way each grade can kind of take it in
Right.
and out as they need it.
all right, let me,
Didn't Mr. Schneider say they had a bid?
yeah, they do.
Or something?
they do. Slatington doesn't.
Just lays there.
I think.
I-
But, yeah, like in
you-
Slatington, I think it's just, yeah.
There's like a stand there, but it's not really being.
Yeah, there's a stand there, but it's not, yeah, everything is just sort of in a pile.
Let me shoot out an email, tomorrow. I'm gonna do it through my work email because I can do all staff.
Right.
And I'll copy PTO on it.
Okay.
And be like, we want to buy recess stuff, and then each grade to see what they need. Because I don't want to buy 6 basketballs if we only
Right.
need 2.
Right.
Maybe ask if each grade can kind of get together, come up
Right.
with a wish list, and have one person from the grade kind of report back, so that way you're not getting emails from all different teachers.
Right.
If we kind of ask them as a grade level to
Yes.
kind
Yeah.
of discuss, see what they need, and report back one person.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do that tomorrow. Up next is new business. I don't have a lot of new business. Our November is very empty. So I basically just got a head start on December. December 6th through the 8th is Slatington Holiday Shops. Oh, and by the way, she would like to be called Medina, and I keep calling you Katia.
it's fine.
So I just, because I'm going to say your name right now. So Medina is in charge of the holiday shops. I'm going to embarrass you.
I'm just
sorry.
okay. I've gone by both names kind of my entire adult life, but I'm trying to simplify everybody's life by just going by one, so that people know that I'm the same person. It gets really confusing,
Yes.
and I never know who knows me as what. But I will still answer to both names. Like it's totally okay.
So she's in charge of both schools. I know
yeah.
you want times.
Well, okay, so I've gotten enough that we're just going to say approximately 9 to 3. Like I will adjust
So,
it back a little bit.
I
for
would
eaters.
say for Slatington 8:30. I know you said you can't get here, but if Robin and I are here
right,
by
no,
8:30
I would-
with
if-
volunteers,
If I would have the volunteers arrive before the first class would shop.
yeah,
Anyway,
I mean they can
so,
come.
yeah.
I could be here by 8:00.
So I could be
Yeah.
here,
Okay.
right, he gets on the bus, I can
Okay.
bring him with me.
You can bring
So,
them with him.
I'm
So
gonna put together the sign up genius. I actually wanted to do it between my things for the PTO today, but I had to fold some laundry because my house is in shambles. So that's on my to do list for tonight is to put together the sign up geniuses for that. Now I did have
I mean, I
Um,
would honestly just wait on the sign up geniuses just till at least Monday. Report cards go home Friday.
okay.
She's still, that's like her main focus right now, are report
Well, I'm
cards,
not
everybody.
gonna post them
Yeah.
until. So that's our next thing is because some parents don't see our stuff on social media. I'm gonna have the principals send out these sign up genius links with their weekly emails. This is actually the reason why I would have liked to have them by the end of this week, so that because they usually send out their
Briner's off anyways, it won't go out.
they usually send out their weekly emails over the weekend, like before Monday. So I wanted it in there because we're about a month out here and people need to like figure this out.
I mean, I would
Like-
say, like I would do 8:30 to 3 for Slatington,
Right.
and I don't know about Thursday yet, if we're gonna be a full day or a half a day. I mean, if you wanna do the full day, and if it changes,
Right.
we can, I mean, we could
'Cause
even
last
have
year
them
at
stay and help
Slatington-
us get, well, I know we couldn't do
No.
that.
Last year at Slatington was absolutely insane. We had crammed them in all 4 grades shopped in 2 days. With Thursday morning being a makeup shopping time, and that was it. And it was nuts. We didn't have time to breathe. We had kids shopping the whole way through the day. Our volunteers were hungry. Our volunteers had to pee. There was no breathing room. So, but because we're going to be here through Friday night that week, there's no need to have all 4 grade levels shop in 2 days. So the idea is to have 3 days for them to shop, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then have, even if need be, we can even have Friday morning as a makeup shop. Like I can come in here Friday morning.
Yeah, you bring my Christmas.
Because makeup really only requires like 2 people to be there. There's like 3 kids that show up to makeup shop. But this way we have way more breathing room than last year.
So, I just thought about something then.
Yes.
I'll tell you then.
So anyway, all I want to do, like I've had at least 3 people already reach out and ask me when they can sign up. I'm totally working on it. I'm trying really hard to make this happen. Worst case scenario, I will not know what grades shop which days. So if you are a parent who really wants to be here to volunteer on the day that your kid shops, I won't know that right away. Worst case scenario. But I'm trying to have something at the very latest beginning of next week for people.
What time? I'm sorry, I don't have it written down.
Yes.
What time is the holiday shops
For
on Friday night?
It starts at 6. It's from 6 to 8. Setup for vendors will be at 5 o'clock. I told every vendor that reached out if they feel they need more than an hour time to set up, they should let us know. We can absolutely get them in earlier, but I felt like an hour to set up stuff on a table was probably sufficient. And then we were going to get here like probably 4:30 to set up the tables and things like that. I was just going to bring my children and make them unfold tables. I'm sure there's some sort of Boy Scout something that they need to volunteer for community things. So there we go.
Mine too, I'm sure.
Okay. My mind when I was like, wait. So we're going to be here till 8 o'clock, and then after that's over, we have to stay and box everything up. You do know that?
Yes.
Okay. Just
But
so
that's-
everyone's.
Yes, but we don't have to inventory
No.
that. We just have to throw it
That's
in the
what
boxes.
I was thinking in my head,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh man, that's gonna
No,
like be forever.
we just throw whatever's left in the boxes
Right.
and go back to Peter's.
Right, so always it is, and then, yeah, because then Keith will take it over on Monday.
Right.
All right, okay, so December 6th through the 8th, holiday shops at Slatington, December 9th, night events, holiday shops plus the vendors, and Santa Claus will be here.
We already talked about that.
December 13th through the 15th, holiday shops at Peters. We will definitely not be there. It'll just be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday is cleanup because they have to get ready for the holiday fest there.
Well, actually, no.
Yeah.
We have to be out Thursday night there.
Right. But, I mean,
Friday is the
yeah.
Slatington's concert band visits Peters for their winter concert. So the stage has to be completely cleared.
Staff, yes.
No pressure.
Santa is visiting Peters December 19th, Slatington the 20th. If we have inclement weather those days, it'll be on the 21st, and we'll just push everything back a day. And we are also now, like Rebecca said, started to do staff birthdays where everyone gets a card and a little treat from the PTO. Open discussion. Robin?
No, but I do need those, what day for Peters for the 19th?
The 19th and the 20th.
Right. Oh, she wrote it, all right, I'm sorry. I'm good.
It's been a really long week.
It really has.
The rest of November is really empty, but we're all a little bit frazzled and burned out after Boosterthon.
Anything,
Okay.
Robin?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Autumn?
No,
Katya?
I do.
Someone always gonna call you that.
It's okay. So something that has always been a struggle for not only our PTO, but apparently like PTOs and PTAs across the country, if you follow any of the groups on Facebook or anything, is ways to get more teacher involvement and teacher volunteers. We fully understand that our teachers like work a full week. They're probably super tired of seeing these kids. I get tired of my own kids, but teacher volunteers at evening events draws people. Kids love seeing their teachers outside of the classroom. And I personally also feel that it helps to build community rapport. So, in an attempt to get more teacher volunteers, I had a conversation with a parent of a Peters student who happens to teach in a different local district. And she mentioned that, like, I personally don't like the idea. Some school districts force their teachers to participate in one event every year. I don't like that idea. I don't want it to be a forced thing. I want it to be something that's, like, enjoyable and fun. But she mentioned that what their school does is for every PTO event that the teacher attends, they are given a day to dress down.
They have to pay for that here, don't they? Dress down day?
You pay for it in the beginning of the year, and it's good for the whole year.
Oh.
So this is something that unfortunately neither of our principals are here today, but it's something that I personally would kind of like to bring up with them. Maybe not a dress down day, but is there some other incentive we can offer the teachers that maybe, you know, oh, you came and volunteered tonight, here's your ticket for whatever it is you're getting. They hand it in at school and say, see, look, I volunteered, I'm paying my ticket, I get this now. And, you know, I mean, maybe it's you get a day out of recess duty. I don't know if that's a logistical thing that could happen, or you can dress down today, or you, like, whatever other things might be doable. So anytime a teacher shows up at one of our evening events, obviously the daytime events don't work. You know, we would give them basically a bulldog buck type of thing. Like, here is your ticket you can turn in for your incentive.
I mean, me personally, I feel dress down day isn't an incentive to get me to come here at nighttime. I mean, that's just me. You being a teacher, which I mean, dress down day. I feel like you get it once a week as is, and like you are already like.
I think you could figure I think there would be incentives, but I don't know if dress down is
Right.
It's good enough for me to
That's
come
just
here.
what they use. That was just her
Right.
suggestion.
I don't.
we have a a teacher representative on the PTO. So every year, one teacher volunteers to be the teacher, I don't know what they call it,
Liaison.
and they attend.
And I've seen
And
that.
they attend the PTO meeting.
I've
So at
seen that
least then
before.
If there is things happening, like you can get their input, or then they can relay back to us, like this is what's going on, or maybe PTO needs this or whatnot. So, I mean, that would be another potential option of getting at least someone here that would have input that would maybe say, oh, well, let me take it back to the teachers and see what kind of incentives they would want. I mean,
I like the
that
idea
would
of
be an
having
option.
a teacher's input for things like that,
I
rather
mean,
than
you could
just
have a
the
Peters
Right.
and a Slavington. I mean, that would be something that if the principals are interested to put out there at the beginning of every year. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same person. Like our person changes from year to year, but at the beginning of the year they put it out there as, you know, would anyone like to volunteer to be the PTO teacher liaison or whatever you call it. That would be, you know, at least an option.
One person said maybe a gift card at the end of the year with a set amount to go to classroom supplies. And another person said wine and spirits gift card. I would be against the wine and spirits because it's in the school district and it's
I know,
frowned upon.
like we run into legal issues with that.
Right.
While I think that
And
would
not everyone is a
probably
drinker.
Get a whole list of teachers lined up.
What about like classroom supplies? Like I know the teachers are always looking for like expo markers or like Lysol wipes. Like have something to be like, hey, you showed up, you get for your class.
I mean, we already do that for the teachers. We already do in the beginning of the year supply them with not anything they want, but a lot.
Okay.
Oh, you're a teacher? Oh, I didn't know that.
So,
I work currently on it.
Okay.
so what gets you to come to
There is nothing in the world that would make me go to a work event at night. There is absolutely nothing.
Right.
For my children, obviously I'm here.
Okay.
But there's a million things that I have to do in a day, and there's a million things I'm responsible for. And any one of those things, such as like, oh, I gotta go buy expo markers tonight, to get me a little bit more of an incentive to go. Especially as a parent of a kid in the district. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that we do have several teachers who live in our district and have children in the district, and we also don't see them. I get it. Like you've been here all day, you've been at work. It's just like so when they did that like Barnes and Noble book fair thing.
Oh yeah.
I know the teachers were required to go to that,
Yeah.
but the kids all want to go because their teacher is going to be there. Like if they're like,
And I think especially having teachers at the festival in the spring, I think the kids would really like
exactly.
that they're there, you know, and
Right. Or like,
Bingo.
yes, at book bingo. Like, if there's one or two teachers
Dressed in
here,
their Halloween costumes.
I mean, you know, like, only come for an hour if that's what you have. But like, like, kids love this.
Yeah, Mrs. Sharma was here, even though
Well, yeah, she wasn't.
she was here this year, but she was here last year.
Well, and that, yeah, well, and she volunteered for Fall Festival this year because she was able to do that the way that her job transition went. And the kids went nuts over seeing her there.
She used to be a teacher.
Yeah, so she was a kindergarten teacher here, and then she left for another position. But all the kids at Peters like still know her and recognize her, and so the kids were like all so excited to see her, and that's something that like it helps bring people to evening events.
this is a stupid question. I'm asking this question because I've never been here before. Like, we have a kindergartner. This is
Okay.
my first PTO meeting. Does something go out to the teachers that say, hey, we're having this event, do you want to come? Or is it just like, hey, here's the flyers, I'm supposed to hand out?
That's what it is.
Right. So no,
I
we,
know in my
yeah.
family situation, like, we've had like special needs events, and like, we're not always like invited. It's just like, oh, this is happening, and you don't even know until after the fact that like, they wanted us there. I don't know, and I'm not putting blame on anybody.
Yeah, no, it's a valid point.
You
Well,
know, like,
we
hey,
have
here's
the-
schedule of all the PTO events that are happening this year, like.
Well, even the big football game that we had this weekend for competitive flags, there were teachers there, and some don't even live here, but there was like a big push for like community support, and
maybe
some of the
putting-
teachers probably felt invited to go watch their student play.
Even putting something out there like, hey, book bingo's coming up. We'd love to have 2 teachers from each building there representing. Is it where
Right.
anyone like to volunteer? Because maybe you would.
Well, I mean, I personally kind of operated under the assumption that because it's a PTO and the T stands for teacher, that it was just understood that teacher involvement is desired, appreciated, liked. But maybe that's not fair to assume.
I think sometimes you just get in your role.
Right.
And somebody else always did it, and now that person left for another position or retired or
Right.
has their own business to do it anymore, and well, now that person's not doing it, but 20 years ago somebody else was doing it, so I never thought about it.
Right. So maybe we need to also look into like more directly asking teachers to participate. Like, hey, tonight is book bingo. It would be great if we could get 3 teachers. Well, not tonight, but yeah. Like we have this event coming up. We'd like 3 teachers to volunteer to come and represent the school to the community. Because it's also an opportunity, I feel like, for family members and parents to see their teachers in a different way and interact with them.
What about reaching out to some of the recently retired teachers? You know what I mean? Because I know like the district did the Bulldog games thing last year for the IU classes and the district classes, and there was a bunch of the recently retired teachers that were there.
Okay.
And I mean, you're talking to the kindergarten
Right.
teacher retired 2-3 years ago, the 6th graders will know, and the 5th graders will know, and they might have some more free time.
Kristen said, plus you see your old teachers, Slatington kids don't see Peter's teachers, and it makes them sad.
Yeah.
Logan saw Mrs. Lychak at the cheer competition this weekend. He was, Mrs. Lychak? It was so funny because it was like, I'm like, they do have lives outside of, you know, the school.
I mean, it's something that we will have to talk to the principals about. And,
Or
Right.
maybe that's something that the principals even put out, like, you know, because maybe, you know, they just put out, hey, this is coming up, we'd love to have.
If it came from a principal, though, wouldn't you feel like it's kind of required, or like?
Well, so
Well,
maybe
if
we
there's only
started.
1 or 2 volunteers, then I wouldn't feel like everyone, like it was, I mean, we have certain things that PTO does that it's like an unwritten rule that you're there. And certain
Okay.
things that are, if you volunteer, great.
Right.
Like we have a big 8th grade thing at the end of the year that says if you're an 8th grade teacher, you're pretty much better do that. But other things are
Well,
more.
so maybe we
people
start
volunteer.
with, maybe we don't start with focusing on incentives. Maybe we start with getting a teacher representative, seeing if that's something we can do, and
Right. And
more
maybe you're starting
directly,
with directly
and more
asking.
directly asking them to volunteer and see how that goes.
Because if you ask directly and then you're still not getting.
Right.
Then maybe you look into.
Then maybe we need to be
is there an
like-
incentive that we could
Yeah.
offer?
Like-
Because I feel like it'd be hard to have a principal put that out there and not one person volunteers.
And, I
think
mean-
that- I don't know, I find that.
in the past, for our book bingos, and I'm talking 2 to 4 years ago, we did have teachers coming and volunteering to help at book bingo, but we kind of shied away from that because we had enough of us that we didn't need, like Mrs. Lafferty, Mr. Green, Ms. Mendez. Those are the 3 that
Yeah.
stick out in my head. Would always come to book bingo and help. I know Ms. Mendez wanted to come this month, but she was away on
Well,
vacation.
Mr. Leonzi used to be our bingo caller.
Yeah.
He had that great like booming voice. It was really cool.
Right.
I feel like we don't necessarily have to make them work
Right.
the events.
Do a meet and greet.
Yeah, just their general presence. Like if they tell their class, "Oh, hey, I'm going to be at this event tonight," like their kids are going to go home and be like,
see tonight.
right, like their kids are going to go home and be like, "I want to go."
Right. And I mean-
Obviously, book bingo we don't necessarily have an attendance issue with, but
right. And I mean, the teachers, I know most of the teachers have their own children, and own activities and own school sports. But if it's a free night of baseball for their student, bring their student along with them.
That as an incentive, so like, if it's an activity that has a cost, so like a book bingo,
Then they
giving them like an incentive of like, hey, I don't know what book maybe it costs.
Oh, it's $1.
Yeah, but still, yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Participate, or like the ice cream social was $100.
right.
And you guys didn't, now it's not coming to work and paying to do something, or coming to work and volunteering, it's, I'm gonna go get ice cream.
Right.
Right. Okay. Do you have anything else,
No, that was it.
Rebecca?
I have a couple things. Reminder: this weekend is the Phantoms hockey game. Was that Friday or Saturday?
Saturday
night.
So anybody who bought tickets,
Tickets, they added more tickets, like they
Okay.
usually reserve tickets that they give away for free or whatever.
Okay.
They opened it up because it's also Cub Scout night.
Yeah.
Okay.
And tickets are going, so they decided to give, instead of just giving them away, they decided to take those tickets they normally keep reserved to give to people for free, like family, friends, blah, 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 whatever. They still opened up where if people wanted to buy tickets for the game, they are still available to buy tickets.
In our section or just for the game in general?
He can't guarantee that it's gonna be in our section.
Can I just quick interrupt you?
Yes.
I had another post on Facebook. I have found out a general statement doesn't go as far as specifically reaching out to each individual rather than a general blanket statement. Going back to our asking for teachers.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to fix that.
I have the printer lined up for the directory. I did not realize when I asked the secretaries I didn't put it together that it's also report card week, and I asked them to just proof it really quick, because a lot of the stuff that gets sent in to me is handwritten, so I'm typing in, and a lot of times they'll catch, like, nope, that's not how you spell that child's name. So it is going to go out later than planned, simply because I'm not going to bug the secretaries to proofread anything. I'll bug them next week. But we did agree to use the same printer that we used last year. I contacted 3. One called me back and said, I'm sorry, I'm too busy. Another one finally got back to me last week actually, no, it was earlier this week, because today is Wednesday. I think he contacted me over the weekend, but it had already been like 2 weeks since I had reached out to him. And by then we had already said, like, let's just go with the one we used last year. Levi, hold on, where are you going, buddy? You can't leave the cafeteria. Please come back. Please come back. Thank you. So yeah, those will hopefully be going out before the month is over. We did get asked for volunteers to help out with the Peters Scholastic Book Fair. We've had a couple people express interest already. I did ask Mr. Green to see if I could get a class schedule, because everybody wants to be there when their kid is shopping, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet. He has to talk to Mr. Schneiderite. So I will follow up with him again next week and just see if he has
That
an
is
answer.
the same week.
It's the same week as
As
the
Christmas
Slatington holiday shop. So that is, I mean, anybody who has kids
Oh,
at
I
Peters.
didn't even
it is.
realize that.
So
Yes.
you have kids at Peters, you can come help at
So
Scholastic
none
Book
of
Fair.
us are going to be able,
No,
No, we can
them.
be there some days.
Friday.
And Monday.
Thursday, Friday.
And Monday.
And Monday.
After we set up, that's it. Because
And
otherwise,
Monday night.
last year it was.
And Tuesday night is available.
Yeah, you told me.
So
Yeah, last year they held the book fair at Peters during the week of parent-teacher conferences. It made it very easy for us to volunteer. It made it easy for parents to shop the book fair with their kids if they wanted to.
we didn't.
we didn't volunteer at
We didn't
Peters last
volunteer
year. We only
here.
volunteered
Oh, yeah.
here.
It was very low maintenance last year. This year
Yeah.
he moved it to the same week as the holiday
Slatington
shops
holiday
here. So, and then was like, oh, can you get me volunteers?
We'll work on it.
Sure, we'll work on that.
So I have the days and I have the time slots for when the grades are shopping. I just don't know when the class is shopping, on which day. Okay, I will write you down and I will text you when I have something more. And then the last,
Yeah.
you can if you want, yeah. Yep. And then the last thing is we discussed doing dinner for the teachers on their conference night. And I was kind of hoping the principals would be here so they could tell us whether or not district or the building provides anything for them, and then what it is, like if they are actually catering something, or if they're just making sure everybody has snacks and drinks. I don't know. That Thursday
Yeah.
when they're there till
The
9 o'clock.
17th. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one night that they offer like the late conferences
Yep.
for working parents. And they're literally here till like 9
Yeah,
o'clock.
they are. So, I can, well, maybe when she gets off the phone, maybe she knows. But that's something, we were gonna do something like catering from one of the local, like pastas or garlic bread or whatever. Evening conference dinner for the teachers. Do you know if the district or the building provides
I will
something for
ask.
them? Okay,
Because if not, we'd like to feed them.
yes. Even today, like today and yesterday, we fed the booster people, and they're like, "Oh, people usually don't feed us. We usually have to like pack our own lunches." I'm like, I'll buy you a pizza. The PTO will buy you a pizza.
I mean, it's a pizza.
It's
Like-
a pizza. Yeah.
really threw them off with that question.
Yeah, it did. She was like,
One
"Really?"
lady had a whole like cooler pack too.
Yeah, which is great. Like, you know, if you don't know what to expect, but yeah, I definitely want to see if we can do that again. And that's all I have.
I have nothing right now that I can
None
think
of-
of.
Okay.
Rebecca, we're going to go down the line here. Do you have anything you'd like to talk about or discuss?
When I was in grade school, our school had where your parent could sign up and come in during the day, and like you guys were talking about like the applesauce, or I'm not sure, I really don't know, but like if the parent would buy all the supplies and come in for the day for their child's class to like do a craft or something similar to that. I didn't know if that would be something achievable.
That is not the PTO. You would have to go to the principal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we have been trying to get what we call room parents into the buildings. It's still in the works. So if that does go through, that'd be something.
That might be something you might be interested in, yeah.
The only thing is, they did recommend not doing your. If you have a kindergarten, you couldn't do the kindergarten class. You'd have to do an opposites class. But it is. We did. That was like one of our very first meetings. We brought that up to them. So, real quick, Nikki said she'll help whenever at Peters. Just needs dates and times. And
As in-
Kristen said, and I volunteer for the night volunteering.
For the night volunteer.
Nikki Kibler.
Nikki Kibler.
For
That's
the-
for daytime, Nikki?
Yeah, she'll do daytime whenever. Just needs dates and times. And Kristen will do the night one.
Okay. Yeah, I had
Oh,
Kristen
the
on.
book fair night.
Yeah, book
Oh, I
fair.
get to work with Kristen.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else, Rebecca? I apologize. That's okay.
I guess, so if I were, like, if I would have to go to the principal for, like, if, like, parent lunches as well? Like,
They don't do that.
okay.
Before COVID, there did used to
did.
be
A
a lunch,
Thanksgiving lunch.
a Thanksgiving lunch with.
Oh
the
no, she's saying
students.
volunteering during, like volunteering during.
But, like, to, like, come in and have lunch with.
Yeah.
They used to
They
like.
before COVID they did that.
I have a second grader, and they have not done it in the last 3 years.
Yes.
I have a ninth grader, and we've done it several times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
my
think it's
fourth
not
grader
in
did it.
2020.
Yeah. My
yeah.
fourth grader did it in. What year did they do that?
When they
Well,
were
we
in
did one in
second
March
grade.
of 2020.
No,
No, it wasn't.
no, it
second.
would have been first grade because
Was it
it was
first?
pre-COVID.
Okay. Yeah.
I can ask if that's something they think about bringing back.
Yeah, Denise was in kindergarten. We did it in March. Before green. It was
I wasn't
during,
there, but I can't take off for something like that. But I
Like,
just
I
remember
remember
seeing
having-
pictures
I
and
had
was like,
lunch.
oh my God, it looks scary.
It must have been the year that they were in first grade because when Adrian was here, I had lunch with him one year, so that would have been third grade because
Yeah.
that was the year that then COVID happened at the
and
end
what
of that
grade
year.
is he in now?
He's in sixth now, so it's been since he was in third grade was the last time.
And
Yeah.
we
Which
do
was
have
2020.
2 new principals. Do they even know that that was something we did?
I don't think so.
No,
Well, Schneiderite was there.
Yeah,
here for
Schneiderite
first
was
grade. He
in
was
there.
here in 2020 because I did it in 2020
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the
In
last
March.
year they did it.
at St. Patrick's Day week.
Okay.
Because we were green, it had to do with the Dr. Seuss week, I'm pretty sure.
All right. I can ask.
It was like right before the world
They're gonna
shut
love
down.
me
It
tomorrow.
literally was right before the world was out. There's like the
Anything
next
else,
year we shut out
Rebecca?
school.
Okay. Jackie? Sean?
I just further?
Sure.
The initial communication coming out, if I wasn't part of one of these meetings, just as a new kindergarten student parent, like I wouldn't really understand what was going on and the importance that is to the PTO. And like what it means to the kids there.
Yeah.
Do with a lot of things, like as a parent, like I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he knows because he's volunteering, but I don't. Like I, you know, I miss things. Like I didn't know you guys were on social media until like it was said like 2 weeks ago. And now I follow you guys on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like I am now.
Yeah.
Like just had here.
Right.
I had no idea that existed.
So we do put we put our website, our email address, and our social media handles on all the flyers that come home. That's not blatantly saying check us out on Facebook, but it's for the amount of space.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need to put on a flyer. Sometimes that's all I can fit on the bottom.
We also,
Every
yeah.
flyer, and I've never noticed that. And
Okay.
like, I haven't. I'm saying, 'cause
Yeah.
And we
No.
talk about it. We talk about it at Meet the Teacher Night at our table, like
Yeah.
if people come by. So, but as far as the booster things being confusing, I do somehow feel like it was less clear this year than other years, and I'm not sure why.
So we did express that to Heather, who is our client care consultant, because the principals and the secretaries expressed the same frustration, maybe, because the emails that she sends out and the information that she sends out is extremely wordy, and it's long and it's awkward, and you have to really look for the information that you need. So it was difficult, I think, when it first started, for the principals to communicate that well to the teachers so that they could communicate that to the kids. Now, as far as like our stuff goes, like we did try to post on Facebook every day, but if you don't know we have Facebook, that doesn't help you. And then any flyers that get sent home, we do rely on like the teachers doing that. They're supposed to be showing a video every day. There's a lot of things that are set up to be done during the school day by the teachers and the principals. And then for us, it's just a lot of communication on Facebook. But I appreciate
Yes,
the
like
other-
it's,
but
yeah.
yes, we were definitely feeling overwhelmed with.
I feel like the flyers that came home were like, booster, booster, booster.
Mhm.
I didn't see anything except one, trying to write it yesterday, like, that said Glow Run. Like, I wouldn't have known that was a thing.
Yeah.
If it was volunteering.
Yeah.
If I don't know,